39th place. The Takotopus Pirates. The Takotopus Pirates were another independent crew that got absorbed by the Whitebeard Pirates when their captain lost his battle against the Emperor. Their current whereabouts after the Summit War are unknown. 42nd place. The Little Pirates. Even though we didn't see many of his crewmates, Little Oars Jr.'s pirate crew was still an important part of the Whitebeard fleet. The crew consists of normal humans who mimic Oars Jr.'s look, and they're probably pretty strong, considering the fact that they were a crew operating in the New World. Their ship was called the Little Garay, and their fate is currently unknown, since there's no mention of what happened to their captain after the Summit War. 40th place. The AO Pirates. This is another crew we saw during the Marineford War who were subordinate to the Whitebeard Pirates. Nothing is really known about them. 41st place. The Golden Lion Pirates. Although they haven't shown up in the main story quite yet, the Golden Lion Pirates have been mentioned several times by characters in the world of One Piece. They were one of the most famous crews from the previous generation, led by their notorious captain, Golden Lion Shiki. By far the most interesting thing about this crew is their ship, which is basically a huge floating island controlled by Shiki's Devil Fruit. Also, the Golden Lion Pirates had the largest pirate fleet in history, consisting of over 50 divisions. Although not much is known about the crew's hierarchy, we know that there were 3 important leaders besides Shiki, those being Indigo, Scarlet, and the unnamed doctor of the crew. During their prime, the Golden Lion Pirates had a commanding presence over the seas, and even managed to gain an upper hand against the Roger Pirates at one point. It's not really clear whether this crew is still active or not after all those years, but we know that Shiki is alive, and could potentially play a role in the main story at some point. Not many crews are strong enough to corner the Pirate King, 10th place. The Blyking Pirates. When Blackbeard was passing by Drum Island, Walpole took the nation's doctors and army out to sea in order to try his hand at becoming a pirate. It was a short-lived stunt, but his crew were fairly decent at combat and almost got away with taking over the Drum Kingdom with their sheer military might. They sailed on a submersible ship called the Blyking. Eventually, the crew disbanded after Luffy sent Walpole flying to another island. 59th place. The Candy Pirates. The Candy Pirates were a crew only featured in a CP9 cover story, where they were completely crushed during a failed raid on St. Poplar. After the incident, Lucci and the others stole their ship. 60th place. The Gyro Pirates. The Gyro Pirates are a pirate crew originating from South Blue, commanded by Captain Gyro. The crew was strong enough to reach Fishman Island, and their captain even earned a 73 million berry bounty. Despite their confidence and experience, the entire Gyro Pirates were decimated by Hody Jones' jaws alone, and only survived because Hody spared them in order to use them as slaves. 47th place. The Big Mom Pirates. In order to realize her lifelong dream of diversity, Big Mom set out to the sea to create a land where all races from all over the world could live peacefully together. Therefore, she started marrying many notable figures of every race in order to produce an army of her own offspring. This eventually paid off, and she gained an arsenal of capable warriors unquestionably loyal to her. With several power Devil Fruit users on the crew, Big Mom's crew became one of the most influential crews in the world, thus proving her status as an emperor. Crew's main base of operation is Totoland, but they have several other territories that they protect in exchange for tribute from the local population, just like they did with Fishman Island. In fact, most of Totoland are just terraformed islands that were in close proximity to each other. Big Mom's crew consists of 3 sweet commanders who work under her: Karakuri, Smoothie, and Cracker. And directly under them are her executive officers like Perospero, Monteor, and many, many more. Underneath all of the officers are the regular combatants and the lower level grunts. The Big Mom Pirates' main flagship is called the Big Mom Chanter, but besides that one, there are many more unnamed battleships, each commanded by a high-ranking officer of the crew. Although the crew is really weak now after Big Mom's defeat, at its prime, it was one of the most feared crews in the world. 8th place. The Nox Pirates. After Roger visited Zoo for its poneglyph, he inspired a young mink named Pedro, who later set out to sea with a crew of his own. Prominent members of the crew included Beppo's older brother Zeppo and Peccomes. For a while, everything was going according to plan, and each member earned a sizable bounty. However, unfortunately, their journey came to an abrupt end when they faced the Big Mom Pirates on Totoland. Peckhams was forced to join the Big Mom Pirates, while Zeppo was executed. Their captain Pedro barely escaped with his life after he sacrificed one of his eyes and 50 years off his lifespan. The crew essentially disbanded after that encounter. Impressive New World crew, 30th place. The Heart Pirates. The Heart Pirates are a pirate crew from the North Blue, led by a former warlord of the sea, Trafalgar D. Law. The entire crew consists of medical professionals whose only goal is to help Law find out the real meaning behind the D clan. There are a total of 21 members in the crew, including famous Captain Jean Bart and Law's navigator, Beppo. The crew has no specific hierarchy in place. Still, they respect and follow the commands of their captain without question. Their ship is a submarine called the Polar Tang, which houses advanced medical equipment and a fully functional operating room. They were first introduced as one of the worst generation crews during Sabaudi, and were shown to be pretty capable as they managed to escape from Admiral Kizaru and the Pacifistas. Afterward, they played a role in keeping Straw Hat Luffy alive after the events of Marineford, and wound up temporarily allying themselves with the Straw Hat Pirates in order to take down the emperors of the previous generation and secure their poneglyphs. By the end of Wano, the Heart Pirates were one of the crews closest to attaining the One Piece before they had their poneglyph rubbing stolen by Blackbeard. They held their own against an emperor pretty well, 12th place.